Most of the things we do in public space, because it's the most raw and it's the most bloody difficult, but it's also the most fascinating because things happen that you cannot control. It's about thinking of a world which is more open, which is more durable. Here we work with a great team of designers and engineers, a sort of dream factory for new interactive landscapes of the future. Smart Highway is about envisioning the future of our roads, of our public spaces. I think it's incredibly weird that when we talk about innovation and when we talk about mobility, everyone always focuses on the car. But the roads, they're somehow placed in a corner that should be cheap and maintenance free and nobody cares. Can we not make them more as an interface of experience or as an interface of information? For us it's more about looking around the world, getting annoyed, getting fascinated, and based on that you start to make things. You use technology because it's a great tool to make things alive, to make things sort of shareable. But in the end it's all about sort of merging this world of poetry with something very practical and to build it. We started to focus on highways. Glowing lines is very specifically one of the first ideas from the 20 of smart highways, where in Europe, but I think also in the USA, government is shutting down streetlights to save money. We should do more, not less. So we got sort of inspired by the glow in the dark, the little stars on the ceiling, but also a jellyfish. It has no battery, but it still gives light. So what can we learn from that? So the notion of biomimicry, sort of taking things from nature and morphing it to reality pops up. What you should know is that glowing lines is a series of smart coatings. So in the end we will have lines which can go from visible to non-visible, or from green to red, changing colors. So it's sort of an electronic paint which uses sunlight. But if it's really, really cloudy for several days, we can sort of boost the coating, the paint, with a little bit of electricity we get from the solar panel. And that sort of allows it to get a minimal amount of light, which is necessary for safety. One other focus of Smart Highway are electrical cars. I think it's incredibly weird that you're still putting 425 kilo of battery in each car. When you look at a piece that we made called Crystal, it's a public artwork as well, little rocks of light which get their electricity from the ground. No battery, no cables. We started to apply this principle to highways, making roads which charge electrical cars when they drive over it. And we sort of narrowed it down to a system where we only use like 3 or 4% battery or energy. So it's quite energy sufficient to sort of make a sort of red carpet for electrical cars, where when you drive on it, you do not lose electricity. It's sort of a mix of electromagnetism and induction. It's a combination of different techniques, and it's also just giving the power only when you are there. So it's very local. The goal of Smart Highway is to make landscapes which are future-proof, energy neutral, but also just incredibly poetic. We had to connect with industry, with entrepreneurs, with government, and teaming up with Heijmans, a large road industry here in Europe. They have a need to change, sometimes out of love for the future, sometimes they're just very scared. The old world is crashing in terms of economy, in terms of energy. The new world is sort of unknown. We're sort of prototyping this new world. Because of this idea, because of this project, suddenly the road industry and the car makers are sort of like, hey, what can we do together? It's not just about money, it's about impact and making sure that it gravitates in society. I think we should sort of be more curious and be more demanding of our society, of the world around us. Is this really what we want? We are makers. And if we would trigger that mentality a bit more, I think the world would look completely different. And so I hope the stuff that I make at least sort of shows that what is possible, and at the same time shows the potential what could happen as well.